It is that time of the week again, another installment of Offside Maidens, the cricket show with an all-female cast. I'm your host, Tara Lee, and I'm joined by an incredible panel of women. Before I introduce you to them, let me remind you to like, subscribe, click that notification bell so you never miss out on the goods. And if you want to support us or Cricket Fanatics, become a patron. The link is in the bio, I'm sure, and on all the social media pages. And of course, the views and opinions are that of the individuals sharing them and not Cricket Fanatics as a whole. So I'm joined by the lovely Emily that you see over there, now in the UK, no longer in Cape Town, usually involved in all things cricket, but she has been in isolation for some time. Lisha, our resident cricket player and juicer, isn't joining us this evening, but she may join us in the comments as the twins did last week. And the twins, of course, fans who love the game more than they love each other. How are you guys doing this evening? Twins, was I accurate? You've been having a good week?
Very, very good week, especially with sport. But yeah, besides the obviously university, work and things. But yeah, yesterday for me was a good day. CSK, Man City coming through. So yeah.
I can't relate. But
She can't relate.
yeah, loving cricket more than we love each other. At this point, I think definitely loving cricket more than we love each other. Okay.
I see that. And Emily, you are in quarantine and have been for some time. Is this your final day of quarantine?
Yeah, so final day, come out tomorrow morning. So looking forward to it. I think I've seen this room way too much now. Yeah, and I like being outdoors. So this was a bit tough, but yeah, we're at the end now. So yeah.
So you're just confined to that small room, and maybe you've been watching cricket, IPL maybe, and playing some video games.
No, not video games. I don't play those. But yeah, I've been watching, a series, movies, reading a bit. Did workout, like just the stuff that you can do in the room. And yeah, I'm watching IPL. Shame things just haven't clicked for the Sunrisers, have they? Jess, yeah. So yeah, just been chilling basically.
Yes, and you see that notice at the bottom of the page. It says that the super chat is live. So you can click the $sign on the bottom left if you want us to answer your questions. Of course, you are welcome to partake in the comment section, share your comments, and enjoy yourselves. Have a discussion, and also have a discussion with us. We love to read your comments and we love to hear what you have to say. So news coming out of the cricket world this week. If we look past the AB de Villiers and RCB performance and the drama at CSA, the Proteas women have qualified for the women's only cricket event at the Commonwealth Games 2022 in Birmingham. Cricket returns to the Commonwealth Games for the first time since 1998. Our ladies are looking to bring back gold, I'm sure. The 8-team T20 competition will take place from the 28th of July till the 8th of August next year. The Proteas ladies are one of 6 qualifiers, which include England, the hosts, and the usual suspects, Australia, India, New Zealand, and Pakistan. Those 6 have already secured qualification as a result of their standings in the T20 rankings, and Protea ladies are right up there because of their brilliant series wins against Pakistan and India. They've been doing the most this year and this season. And that brings us to our special guest who has been a part of those teams. She is a South African cricketer. She made her women's ODI international cricket debut in 2016. She was named in the T20 squad in 2019. It is, of course, Proteas player and the captain of the SA Emerging Women, Sinalo Jafta.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm super keen for this one. I'm so keen.
Thank you so much for joining us and welcome. Also, me and the twins in the corner did not get the memo about the cap situation, so please forgive our fashion don'ts here. We're just wearing our hair. Next time, we promise to be a part of the mix.
That sounds good. I'll accept that.
So everyone is really excited about having you on the podcast, and of course they will be asking you plenty of questions. You are an established cricketer, and you are fresh from tour, at least fresh this month from tour, and we will get to that in a bit. Because so Emily is currently in quarantine, but you had to experience that yourself with the women's emerging squad. So I believe that you were one of 5 that was actually stranded there, and you had tested positive for COVID-19, and things were going a little crazy there that side. So it was a tough tour, not just on the field, but also because of the rise in COVID-19 cases. There was a 5-match ODI series. The final one, the final ODI was cancelled so that people could tour. And of course, Bangladesh had an international ban for flights. So tell us a little bit about that experience, because I mean, touring in the time of COVID-19 is very different, obviously, but was it a little scary also? And what went through your mind as you tested positive for COVID-19 and realized you were stuck here now?
Yeah, so how it happened was, so we got told to put like our bags by the lift. So as I go out my room, the doctor's like, go inside. And I'm like, no, no. And then I think from there, I just went on autopilot because, after 2 months being away from home, I think when that happened, I was like, yeah, nah, when it raised it paused. But I mean, from there, like, it just shows mentally where you're at. Because I knew at some point I'm going to get home. But I just think at that time I was on autopilot. I'm not going to lie.
And also, while you were there and this was all happening, just thinking about and being in isolation, what did you do really to occupy yourself? Because obviously there had to be isolation period before when you just arrived, and not just with this tour, also in India.
Yeah, so we'll start with India. So India was like the 6-day one, and that one was tough. Because day one, I had like my day structured, By day 4, I think, no, guys, it was not fun. After the days, like day 6, yeah, it was tough. I never wanted to touch my room. So any opportunity I got in my room, I went to go shower, I went to go, then I was out. No ways. And then in Bangladesh, I think that one was fine because I wanted my body to recover from the Indian tour. So that one was actually the best one that I had because I actually had time to like sleep in and all that. So yeah, my structure was listening to music. Yeah, I stopped watching TV at a point, just cricket games.
Yeah, I can imagine, because I mean, Emily over there has already finished the whole of Netflix because she's been in quarantine for a week. So it's understandable. I mean, you need to find ways to occupy yourself. But being in quarantine before playing, do you feel like you'd rather be out there preparing, or how do you mentally prepare in that situation?
So with me, I'm very big on like reading, but life stuff. I don't do romance, so I like reading that. And mentally you have to be switched on because as soon as you go out your room, you have like 2-3 days to prepare. It's not like you had so it's tough. And like in your room, you're doing like hit sessions or band work. So it's not that thing of actually hitting a cricket ball. So mentally, this COVID has brought mentally, yeah.
I can imagine, but it's currently the new normal. So let's start at the beginning of your story. How did you get into cricket? Where did it start for you? It's always one of my favorite questions because the stories are always so interesting. And especially since in your case, your athletic or sports journey didn't start with cricket.
No, not at all. So with me, I always thought that I'd go to the Olympics for hockey. Funny enough, I was actually with friends in Joburg that are actually currently in the squad, and it's amazing how we all played together in the ranks. And then when I look at them, I was like, no, I can't play cricket like hockey again. It's like no, and so I went SA schools hockey, and then cricket was something I did for fun. Like the cricket week was always in December. And then hockey was always in June. So my mom was like, okay, we can actually do both. It's not that thing of it's going to clash. and I had problems with my coaches in Border, Angelique Tai, because I couldn't make some cricket games because I had a hockey weekend. And I mean, I was at the school for hockey. I wasn't there for cricket. Then with my trick year, I was actually going to stop because I just signed with Northwest University on a full bursary for hockey. And at the moment, I was SA under 18 also. So it was like, okay. And then in December, I made SA under 19 for cricket. And then I looked at my mom and was like, what now? And then my mom was like, no. When you get there. So I got a Poch, but I only got there like 2 months in Poch. Then I was like, okay, maybe I'll play it, but for fun. Then 2 years later, you make your debut. It's like, okay, cool.
I mean, this is a very funny story. I find it so interesting because I mean, hockey was in the forefront of your mind. Hockey was the sport that you wanted to play, and here you are right now, a Protea player. It's quite funny, your entire journey, and your family was very supportive of this choice of career.
My mom was mad because she said I wasted how many years playing hockey, and then. No, because hockey, like it's a lot of money. My mom would pay, I think, 20,000 rand a year. So in her mind, she was like, "Why?" So you can understand from her side.
And no other career choice. There was never anything else. Leisha wants to know what's wrong with romance. I think Leisha's been drinking a lot of juice. There was never any other career path that you were maybe considering apart from hockey or or cricket.
Rugby, sevens to be specific.
Oh wow! Did you actually play rugby?
I did, and then I got a late tackle, and I was like, I'm okay. I got up as a coach. I'm fine.
Oh my goodness. And in the future, you think you're still involved with hockey, right? You still coach hockey.
I used to, but now I just don't have time. So I just do consultations at schools when I have time.
And if you ever retire, well, eventually when you do retire, many years from now, from cricket, do you think that you'll go back into that sphere to coach?
To an extent. So like currently now I'm with the foundation. So what we're trying to bring in with the foundation is like the sporting side. So I will be able to coach now while I play. And I have to give back to both sports in a way. So definitely it is an option.
So coming up in your career, and of course, you started with hockey and then you played cricket for fun, but was there anyone you watched growing up and even now and thought, I aspire to be like that? I want to play that brand of cricket.
Sure, that's a tough one. I used to watch a lot of test match cricket. Like it used to annoy my mom. Like from like grade 5, I used to wake up in the morning, chill on the couch. You know, a test match, if you pause out, you wake up, they're still playing. So for me, the one person, actually, I sent him a message. I met him in grade 8 when I started up with cricket. And my Kayantini came to me and I was holding the ball horribly wrong. So he comes to me, he's like, no, you hold it like this. But I was like, so like starstruck. You know, I looked at it. And from there, then he's like, no, just keep going. You will succeed, whatever. And it was so patient working with me. And then for me, like, I just kept watching him. It had nothing to do with wicket keeping. I just used to enjoy, like, just watching his type of brand.
So you enjoyed watching, and so you were more interested in bowling, would you say? But you are a wicket keeper now. And was that always something that you wanted to do? And you're the best keeper in the country, according to this comment right here.
No, Lubes. I think Lubes. No, so the wicket keeping, how it came about. So in my grade 10 year, yes, I used to just bat. The coaches didn't trust me with bowling. Oh, it was bad, guys. So then the 1 year, our keeper was in matric. And then I was in grade 9. And then the next year, Angelique Tai comes to training and she gives me gloves. I said, I don't want those. I know you need a keeper, but I don't want them because even if you ask Ayabonga Kaka, we were playing border together. She used to bowl there. If the ball is too fast for me, I used to leave it. I didn't catch that thing. No. And then that was grade 10. And then grade 11, I slowly started enjoying it. And I was like, oh, okay, this is nice. This is fun. And then matric, that's when I was like, okay, I want to be a keeper. Like properly, that's when I decided. I was hooked.
And here you are right now. So you were talking about Test cricket earlier and watching Test cricket. Would you like to play Test cricket? It seems like
Yeah.
it seems likely. It seems likely that it's a possibility now because I mean India and England will be playing a Test in June.
Yeah. Test like I grew up watching Test and like I always wanted to play like with the red ball. And I remember like for me, Test match is all about like your temperament. And I just enjoy like the battles and also like just being awake. So as a keeper, you technically have to be awake like the whole time. So imagine the mental battles you'll have in your head. And I just love just tapping into my mind quite a bit.
I'm gonna hand on over to some of the ladies now so they can get in some questions because I'm sure that they're waiting in anticipation. Twins, do you have any questions for Sinalo?
Oh, actually, I have a lot of
yeah.
questions. I'm just quickly, just from what you just recently said about, a mental battle that goes through your mind as a wicket keeper. So I just want to know, how do you keep yourself motivated then? How do you, yeah, keep yourself
On the
motivated,
field or
keep your
off?
mind above, keep your mental health optimum?
On the field or off the field?
Both.
And both, actually. It would be interesting to hear.
I
Both.
like singing to myself on the field, in my head, because it just keeps me in tune. So what I'll do is I'll only switch on when the bowler's coming towards me. And I've realized when I don't do it, I end up messing it up. And so I've been working on that simple routine. And then, so Shibi will come bowling and then I'll just go switch on. So in my mind, I'll just say switch on. And then as soon as I catch that ball and I throw it, I go switch off. Then I'll do like in my head, I was like, okay, what playlist is in my head? So I listen to Amapiano quite a bit. So then I'll go back to like an Amapiano song. And then when Shibi comes back, it's like switch on. Then constantly it's like, and I realize if I don't do it, I promise you, I misfield or I promise you. It only clicked now. I was like, oh my word. That's what I did in Bangladesh. And like, yeah, it's weird. And then off the field, I'm very tough on myself. I was speaking to Coach Denisha and I was like, yo, I missed so many buys. I missed so many things. And then she's like, how many did you actually catch? But you don't think that good catch you took. I don't think about the good catch because I always say, but it's expected. But the one down leg is like, oh, I could have, only if. So that I'm still working on.
Well, that's really cool. Then I also have a question. Sometimes, people compare like women's cricket with men's cricket. So I would like to ask, like, how do you feel when sometimes these comparisons come up, and then you're like, yeah, what do you think? What goes through your mind when you hear these?
For me, realistically, let's actually put it into because I just go, okay, cool. Everyone is allowed to have their own opinion, and if you know where you are as a person, that's just it. And we only started getting contracts 5 years ago. How long have the men have been having contracts? Like it's things like that people don't actually think about. So for me, it's like patience. It's patience because it's not like you're not going to get there. You will. So if you're going to try to rush a process, then something's going to give in the middle.
Gonna go wrong.
Yeah, that's true. And on that, if I can maybe ask you, like, as a woman cricket player, what are the challenges that you let's say that you come across mostly because obviously female cricket?
Yeah, you just mentioned it. It's just comparisons. That's just it. And if we know what we want to achieve, and so we're sticking to those things. So whether you say A or B, it's totally up to you. We're not going to stop you. And that's how I actually handle life in general. It's like, okay, cool. It's your choice, not mine.
Nice.
That's cool. That's good. That's actually really good.
That's a good mindset.
Cool.
I think those are all the questions the twins have for now, but I'm sure they'll think of a few as they continue listening. Emily, you would like to ask a few questions.
Yeah, I think a few of my questions have been answered already, but luckily I have some more. So obviously you've now come back from Bangladesh, captaining that side there. How is it to firstly captain that side, being the first time that you're captaining them, and how different are the conditions in Bangladesh compared to India, if at all? And how does one sort of adapt from conditions to like from pitch to pitch? How easy is it to adapt? Yeah.
Okay, that's like a long list of questions.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so the first,
no,
one.
Okay, for the first one. Okay, so the first one on the captaincy. I think for me, what I got out of that captaincy is, as a wicket keeper, you kind of have to demand that from your fielders. And I mean, the communication that I had with the bowlers for me was what I will always take away from this captaincy. Yes, batting, I didn't hit it off, but that's something that I'm working towards, And the one thing Denisha said to me is like, it's not that you can't bat. There's something there and we'll find it and we'll fix it. And when it came to like keeping and just presence on the field, I realized with captaincy, it starts with you. But even as a wicket keeper, if your body language is bad, the people around you automatically they're gonna feed off that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I learned so much about my game in Bangladesh, or about, let's say, cricket. When to put someone in, when not to put someone in, how to manage your bowlers. And then we go back to the conditions there. Bowlers' spells were shorter, whereas in South Africa, someone can bowl 5 on the trot, but now by 3, you can see that they need to go off. Like, batting conditions. It was a very good batting wicket. Very good batting wicket. And I mean, you just saw how the Bangladesh girls, like, it was just application. So I took a lot of like positives out of anything, and then now I'm learning to get the negatives out.
And like, how difficult is it to keep and captain at the same time? Because I've always wondered, like, there's a lot of captains that are keepers or keepers that are captains, but like, how difficult is it to do both, focus on both?
Since it was like my first time, I'm not gonna. It was tough. But at the same time, it's not something that you can't not do, because you literally, as a keeper, bar that, have the whole view of the game. When we're fielding, we have the whole view of the game, so you will know when to read a situation. So that's the one thing I've learned out of all of this, is just reading the situation, or learning how to read a situation. Let's just put it like that. Like, I mean, some of the like calls I made, they weren't the greatest, but I mean, you learn from that, things like that. So for me, it was like the best learning experience.
And I don't know if this will make sense, but like, has keeping helped you with your batting in a sense of the process? Because keeping is a very, like, there's a process, and it's like, you go through the same process, and you have like your, okay, for you, it's like your music, your thing that you do there. Does that then help in terms of how you approach your batting? Or, yeah, do you have different processes? I don't know.
That's the thing. I actually have different processes. But now that you actually mentioned it, it's like, oh, thanks, Em. I'm going to focus on the same thing, just to have fun out there, And the one thing keeping has helped me about my batting is just reading the line. I read it so much better now. And you kind of like start knowing what the bowler's going to do. So yeah, that's because I mean, what I'd want from my bowlers, surely the keeper's asking the same thing. So that's helped. Yeah.
Cool, thanks. I think that's all for now.
So the twins have a few more questions to ask you, Sinalo. So twins, take it away. Ask us questions.
No, I just quickly want to like backtrack, rewind. So when you were called up into the national team, so I mean, obviously, I mean, I won't assume, but I mean, was that one of your dreams, or did you ever imagine that you would be called up into the national squad? Was there pressure, or were you just relatively chill?
She was still thinking about hockey.
No, so what happened was, beginning of that year, January, England came down. Then I was part of that team. But they told me upfront, I'm not going to play. I'm just going to be there for the experience. So I won't lie, like my eyes were so big. I was like, this is so cool. And then I remember going back to Poch, and then it's like, boom, go run. It's your hockey season. I'm like, oh. And then like you understand. So for me, it was always that process. And then just before the call up for my debut, I was like, oh my word, I didn't even know. My friend calls me, he's like, congratulations. I was like, for what? Because I wasn't big on social media then. I didn't check anything. I didn't like social media at all. I was never on any social media platform. Then my friends like, congratulations, I'm so proud of you. I was like, but for what? Because they're like, no, you made the series for New Zealand. I was like, wait, when are we playing New Zealand? But I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I went to the article and I checked it. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh
Okay.
my word. Okay, so relatively chilled was the answer then.
Or but
Yeah,
oblivious.
but
actually.
but then it got real. It got really real
Yes.
when we were driving to Kimberley from Poch because we played a game in Poch with the emerging side. So then we were driving to Kimberley. That's when it hit me. I was like, oh no, because I've never worn the badge. So as soon as I put on like my T-shirt with the badge, I was like,
That's it.
oh snap,
Real.
and that's when I was like, mini panic, but mini excitement. So it was like, oh my word, okay, yeah.
Wow. No, I feel it with you definitely. But
Yeah, that's cool.
I think I have just another question. So I mean, I know with this, I know we said we weren't going to talk about the ban, but so let's just like fast forward over that situation. I would just want to know, what are your hopes or aspirations for cricket, for women's cricket in South Africa now, and specifically for the future? What do you hope to see for women's cricket in South Africa?
Honestly, it's growth. If you grow season by season or month by month, and I mean, it starts with our club level. We think that it starts national level, but it has to start with the core group, which for me is like schools, club, then you go provincial, then you go emerging, then you go like the momentum Proteas. So for me, it's just the processes, and it is the right processes that we have, but I just think people don't understand how important it is to actually take each stage seriously, because then that's how you end up being okay at the top. So it's not like when you're in the Proteas side, they keep bringing you back and keep getting dropped. So it's just that core value that you actually value the processes that are put in place, and you actually respect and understand where it is that we want to go.
Thank you. That's all from us, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I wanted to actually just find out if I just wanted to know if, for instance, what is your, since we all, watching IPL and fantasy leagues and stuff. So what is your like fantasy women's cricket team look like? If you can think of the top of your head.
Starting from openers, right? Okay, so I've thought about those over and over. So okay, so let's go opening pair. I'd love to see Healy and Lazal bat together, but at the same time, I'd love to see Beth Mooney, and Laura Wolford bat together. Or
Yeah, that's explosive openers.
Yeah. You understand? Okay, so we stuck there with openers. So we stuck with openers, right? We stuck with openers. Then my number 3 would be Heather Knight.
Not very familiar.
3 or 4.
You don't know Heather Knight.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. Who's Heather Knight? Please tell me.
My
England
3 would be Heather
captain.
Knight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
My 3 would be Heather Knight. But at the same time, I'm not sure. Because she's also gun at number 4. Okay, no, let's go number 3. That's a tough one. Heather Knight. Okay, we'll come back to number 3. It's top. It's yeah. Number 4, I'll go Heather. No, okay. Number 3, Heather. Number 4, Kerr. I'm in Kerr.
Yes. Kerr.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, number 5. Oh, Okay,
Who
5.
did you say number 4? Amelia Kerr.
No.
Who's your number 4? I didn't hear what you said.
India's T20 captain.
Oh,
Hold on.
Harmanpreet Kaur. Okay. Got you.
Okay, you are.
Okay.
Cool.
5, 6, 7. So those are like my all-rounders. So I have to go Amelia because she's in gun form. Marizan Cup, number 6. And then it's a battle. Okay, I already have a keeper. So yeah, Shubi has to go number 8. But Catherine Brandt has to go. Oh, no. Guys, this is confusing. Why did you give me this?
I don't know. I
number
thought you kind of
7.
like, yeah.
No,
I mean, it's a
I'm
difficult
very
question.
You're a bit light on spinners there. You're a bit light on spinners there. A bit light on spinners there. And
that's the thing. That's why I said
and-
number 7 has to be. Oh my word!
okay, but you have Amelia Kerr.
But I love
so
Deep
you have
D.
one.
So okay, number
you have
7,
one.
Deep D. No, I have Amelia Kerr. Then I have Deep D.
Okay.
Deep D Sharma. That's number 7. No, number 7, Deep D. Okay. Then I go 8. Shubi, 9. Skiver has to be in this team. Natalie Skiver. Because with the new ball we'll go Shubi. We'll go Shubi and Perry. Elise Perry. I've just got batters and like a few bowlers. Megan Shoot. Guys, no, I think I'm on
Megan,
13.
yeah, Megan.
This sounds like me choosing my
No.
IPL fantasy team. Who's gonna earn me the
Okay.
most points?
Yeah. Yes, that's about 13, I think. Okay, so let's go 1. We had 4 by 1. Let me just make up my mind. So we'll have Laura Volfort, Elisa Healy, because I need a keeper. All right. Then number 3, Beth Mooney, I'll gamble. Number 4, I'm letting go of. I'll go Heather Knight, number 4. Number 5, I'll go Amelia Kerr. Number 6, I'll go Marizan Cup. Number 7, I will go Deepti Sharma. Number 8, I will go Shabneem Ishmael. Number 9, I'll go Megan Shoot. Number 10, Perry. Guys, she's not batting there, right? She's not batting there. She's just 10. And then number 11, I'll throw something.
You didn't say Natsava. Did you?
Yes, that's 11. That's 11. Because the thing is, I'm low on spinners, but Heather Knight can also spin. That's my 3.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay. So you've got
Yeah.
it at number 4 and
That's-
as a spinner. Okay. Interesting.
She'll give me a good 5 overs. She'll give me a solid 5.
Are you satisfied with that, twins? You're like,
I
yeah,
think very much.
he'll
yes.
definitely win that fantasy league with that.
I'm convinced with the
Definitely.
openers, though. I'm very convinced.
Very convincing openers, yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. And Beth Mooney's there with the left-handed number 3. Oh, solid. That team.
I'm checking if Leisha has any questions for you in the comment section. I think she does, about how did you keep the team motivated? And she obviously means in Bangladesh. So you were obviously a more senior, more experienced player in the emerging side, and of course you captained. How important was it for you to be in that role, and also how did you keep the team motivated?
For me personally, when it came to like a team environment, you can't really, your shoulders can't be down or stuff like that. So I'm not gonna lie, Bangladesh wasn't pretty. It was probably like the biggest test I've had in my career thus far, and I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. And the one thing I won't lie, Andri kept me kind of like in check. She was like my vice captain, so she kind of kept on reminding me that, dude, you're good enough. Like, so it's those type of people that you need. And like for me, I could immediately speak to someone. So there was always that thing of I'm like always energetic, right? So if I am energetic, so I kind of want everyone around me to be like, come on. Yeah, that's just, yeah.
And they can really feed off your energy. What I want to ask you is, what do you wish someone had told you as a female starting out in cricket years ago before you made your Proteas debut? What do you wish somebody said to you as a little nugget of advice?
The one coach I had, actually, he did give me this. Um, he just said, you will have bad days, but with those bad days, don't take it out on other people. Um, humility is everything because cricket will humble you. Um, patience, patience. That's the one thing. Is that if I'm not patient enough, I'll probably leave cricket before 30. Yeah, so that was just him because that was during that time where didn't know now where to go, but I knew I wanted to play hockey and I knew I wanted to play cricket. So he said, that's all I'm gonna say: humility, patience, respect. Those are like the three things.
Ravi Reddy says, a random question: is there chirping or sledging in the women's cricket game? That's a good question. As bad as
Not really.
Australia?
Not really. Not really. Because
So the women are better
I
about it.
chirp behind the stumps. No, I chirp behind the stumps.
Oh, you're the one that's doing the sledging. Well, what are some of the things that you say to get into the players' heads?
So I never directed to the batter. Never that. Because if I'm standing up, right? It happened with like Shefali Verma actually, with lefty when I actually stamped. So Shefali wanted to go. So Biana was like, it's okay to want to go, you know. Like, you know, like in passing. She's like, it's okay if you want to go or not. And then she's like, okay. And then with Lefty's one, so I said to Lefty, give her. And then after that, she turned around. And I was like, okay. Or like some that I love to use is like, if you hit over the top, I was like, let's see if you can give me one more. That's like my favorite one.
Ooh,
But
it started off nice. It started off nice, and then it.
Because if you want to go over the top, it's gonna, yes, it's gonna be a different ball. So if you want to go, something's gotta give.
Just one more six. Just one more shot.
Yeah.
100%. I just Emily does have another question for you as well. But before she does ask you that question, I want to know, because you said in the emerging side, players fed off your energy, and you are still young yourself. I said you're a more senior player, but you're young. You are also, you still have so much more to achieve, and I'm sure so much more you want to achieve, even though you have already achieved so much. How important is it for you to be a role model for cricketers coming up?
So I get quite a few messages, and I always will make time to reply. Obviously, the appropriate ones, from kids asking about what they can do, and then my biggest thing is like, just stay yourself. Don't try fit the criteria, I guess. Just be you. That's like my biggest thing, is like, just be you. If you don't know who you are, trust me, you will figure it out, and you'll see what you like and what you don't like. And yeah, that's just me. Like, I really try to be someone that I wasn't at the beginning, and then like only now I'm like figuring it out that okay, it's okay to be this person. Not everyone is gonna like it, but I'm still here.
And you do inspire. I was listening to an interview on East Coast Radio in Durban earlier today, and Alex Candler has become the first female to captain the school's first 11 cricket team, which includes boys and girls, for the 2021 season. And she said Sinalo Jafta has been there to encourage her and keep her motivated, which is fantastic.
It started, I met Alex when we were playing Pakistan in 2019, and sneaky child. She's like, can I get a shirt? I was like, no. Inside, I was like, no. But then she looks at me and I'm like, oh, I can't not say yes. And then she reached out on Instagram, and then I gave her my number. Then from there, we're just speaking. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. I love her.
It's so great how accessible you are that people could message you and say, listen, I want to talk to you. Tell me, give me some inspiration, or just
I'll always
ask you
have time.
questions. That's amazing.
I'll always make
so
time. Always make time.
it really is great, and it's actually quite rare. And we want to give the fans an opportunity to ask you a couple of questions. Sinalo, are you a Marvel or DC fan? It's his mandatory question for any SA cricketer.
Okay,
You have to
please
be
don't
careful
be
now
mad,
how you
right?
answer, eh?
Please
You
don't
have to
be
be very
mad.
careful.
DC is like Arrow and stuff, right?
Yeah, and Superman and Batman.
And then Marvel is
Captain America, Iron Man,
Black
Wakanda.
Panther. Wakanda. Black
Wakanda.
Panther.
Yeah.
Yo, that's a tough one because I watch what my brother watches. So my brother's like, what? He's 15, yeah. And he's Marvel. But then my other cousin is DC. So I don't know. I don't watch TV, guys.
You don't like the Avengers.
They okay. They're really okay. Yeah, they're really okay. I'm more like a Coach Carter. I just watch sports documentaries. That's me. Like, I don't have any interest in anything else.
Fair enough. And that is why you are as good as you are. Emily, you have a couple of questions.
Just actually going off what you just said now. Okay, so you've watched The Last Dance, right? No.
Yeah.
Yes, no. Okay,
Yeah, who
so
hasn't?
okay, so The Last Dance or The Test?
Test match. What do you mean?
So have you not watched The Test? The Australia documentary. Oh, okay, never mind.
No, I haven't
That's
watched
also
the
like,
one. I'll actually watch it soon. I'll watch it soon.
so it's basically like
After
when
this.
it's about when they were like going through their rough patch and after like the whole sandpaper thing, and then how like Justin Langer like just transformed the whole team. So yeah, that was really good. But The Last Dance, one of the best sports documentaries I ever watched, like ever. But yeah.
Also,
Have
Emily's
you
in
watched the
quarantine.
playbook?
Have I watched what?
The playbook.
No.
You must watch it. So it's just 5 episodes. So it's all the coaches. Jose Mourinho, Serena Williams is coach. Who else was there? The lady from basketball, another guy from basketball. The playbook. It's really cool. And then you see like when Serena was going through her ditch and the coach was like, but you've been hitting a backhand. It's your body language. It's not your skill. It's your body language. Every time the ball goes on your reverse, you freeze up. And obviously you're going to mess it up. So yeah, she went through that rough patch of losing every final.
I'll go watch it. Yeah, here we go. I was going to ask you. Come on, please. This is the most important question of this whole
hope it's
podcast,
Liverpool.
this whole show. This is the most important question. No one cares about anything else. And I'm joking, but like, yeah. Okay. So I'm guessing you don't watch Premier League English football.
I'm kidding. I'm Man United.
Oh, this is why you
Die
are
hard, Man
the
United.
best person.
Die hard, Man United.
Oh,
I think we need to mute our mic now. I don't understand what's going on.
It was a cap, Emily. It was a cap. It's the cap.
Dude,
I'm
the critic, like from the beginning, like dude. it had to be. It just had
the
to
twins
be.
aren't happy with me.
I am shook. How can this be?
I never expected it.
Listen, this is the reason why she's the one sledging. It's a Man United fan thing.
I'm not a devil. I'm an angel.
Unprovoked. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Adam. I'm answering Lubabalo's Adam Gilchrist all day.
100%. Lisha, do you have any more questions there in the comment section? I feel like I'm neglecting Leisha a bit there because I'm not reading all of the comments in the comment section on the side.
While just thinking, how did you actually make the final decision between hockey and cricket? Because obviously you're playing hockey like a lot more involved in hockey, and yeah.
20 Where did we go to Australia? 2016. I remember we were flying. We got back to Dubai. I got a message from the SA women's coach, and we were preparing for the Commonwealth. And it was like, "Can you come to camp?" And I was like, "When is camp?" It's like tomorrow. I was like, "Dude, I'm in Dubai." He's like, "No, someone will come fetch you." So now I went straight from the airport, straight to Poch, because that's where the camp was. Straight to Poch. I'm wearing hockey socks, a hockey stick, and I'm like, "Okay." I haven't trained because hockey fitness is brutal. I haven't trained, but I still managed. And I remember in January we were supposed to go to Bangladesh, and I got injured during that tour, that camp, my groin. And then like literally whole of December I was like recovering. So when we flew to Bangladesh and I got back, and I remember it was Varsity Cup here for us, and I walked into the office, and the coach was like, "Okay." Because as soon as I landed, I asked for a meeting with the book hockey director, and he was like, "Okay, I know what you're gonna say. I wish you all the best." That was it. And luckily I didn't sign that my bursary that year because I got a bump up in my bursary, but I was like, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't.
And before we wrap up, I do want to ask you to talk about your passions off the field. So you're also an ambassador and involved in a few initiatives. Please tell us about that.
Okay, so Menstruation Foundation, we give sanitary pads to people that don't have. So we actually recently last week kicked off the first vending machine. So what's going to happen is the kid is going to get a token, and then they just put it in, and they're going to get pads for the month. That's one. Then obviously there's Graceland, where girls that are out of the system at 18 but they're still at school, they can go and stay there. So I'm part of those two foundations at the moment. And I mean, what I've learned from them is, yeah, I think they've kind of like shaped me also into who I am. And I'm forever grateful for the people that I've met. I mean, Serv Ngesi, that's my big brother. Skara, I met him there. And Babalo, the rugby player. So I've just met such amazing people. And I mean, that is my passion, just to help where I can.
That is absolutely amazing. You do amazing things on and off the cricket pitch. And it's been an absolute pleasure having you on this show. It's been amazing. I love you despite your support of Manchester United. I'm going to overlook that for now. I will. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been such a pleasure, and we've learned so much about you. And we wish you all of the best, Sinalo. Achieve all of those goals you wish for yourself. I hope you come back again for another show and we can talk about some other things and maybe not really delve into that administrative issues. See, we were kind. We left that off or rather out of the mix. Have a beautiful evening. All the best for the future and all the best during this time of COVID-19 and for future tours. Thank you very much, ladies, and for all of the comments in the comment section, and to everyone who were a part of the conversation. Have a fantastic evening. Mwah.